Hello, everyone. Welcome back to MJ Pharma. Today we have an exciting topic to delve into. We're going to discuss the 55 FDA Medicine Approvals of 2023. Yes, you heard it right, 55 new medicines. So, let's jump right in and explore the advancements in healthcare this year. Before we dive into the specifics, let's get an overview of what these approvals mean for the medical field. The FDA, or the Food and Drug Administration, plays a crucial role in ensuring the safety and efficacy of new medications before they hit the market. In 2023, they gave the green light to 55 medicines, each designed to address various health conditions and improve patient outcomes. In this video we will cover drug name, its active ingredient, and its therapeutic use, so let's dive into it. 1. Wainua. Active ingredient, eplontersen. Indication, to treat polyneuropathy of hereditary transthyretin-mediated amyloidosis. 2. Filsuvez. Active ingredient, birch triterpenes. Indication, to treat polyneuropathy of hereditary transthyretin-mediated amyloidosis bullosa. 3. Fabhalta. Active ingredient, iptacopan. Indication, to treat paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria. 4. Ogsivea. Active ingredient, nirogacestat. Indication, to treat adults with progressing desmoid tumors who require systemic treatment. 5. Truqap. Active ingredient, Capivasertib. Indication, to treat breast cancer that meets certain disease criteria. 6. Resnuta. Active ingredient, Fbomelinegrastim alphavux. Indication, to treat neutropenia. 7. Augtyro. Active ingredient, repotrectinib. Indication, to treat ROS1 positive non-small cell lung cancer. 8. Defencath. Active ingredients, taurolidine, heparin. Indication, to reduce the incidence of catheter-related bloodstream infections in adults with kidney failure receiving chronic hemodialysis through a central venous catheter. 9. Fruzacla. Active ingredient, fruquintinib. Indication, to treat refractory, metastatic colorectal cancer. 10. Loqtorzi. Active ingredient, toripalimab C. Indication, to treat recurrent or metastatic nasopharyngeal carcinoma when used together with or following other therapies. 11. Omvo. Active ingredient, mirikizumab markazi. Indication, to treat ulcerative colitis. 12. Agamree. Active ingredient, vamorolone. Indication, to treat Duchenne muscular dystrophy. 13. Bimzelx. Active ingredient, bimekizumab. Indication, to treat moderate to severe plaque psoriasis in adults who are candidates for systemic therapy or phototherapy. 14. Zilbrysq. Active ingredient, zilucoplan. Indication, to treat generalized myasthenia gravis in adults who are anti-acetylcholine receptor, AChR, antibody positive. 15. Velsipity. Active ingredient, etrasimod. Indication, to treat moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis in adults. 16. Rivloza. Active ingredient, nedosiran. Indication, to lower urinary oxalate levels in patients 9 years and older with primary hyperoxaluria type 1 and relatively preserved kidney function. 17. Pombiliti. Active ingredient, cipaglucosidase alpha-ATGA. Indication, to treat late-onset Pompe disease. 18. Exua. Active ingredient, gepirone. Indication, to treat major depressive disorder. 19. Ojara. Active ingredient, momelotinib. Indication, to treat intermediate or high-risk myelofibrosis in adults with anemia. 20. Afexta. Active ingredient, motixafortide. Indication, to use with filgrastim, GCSF, to mobilize hematopoietic stem cells to the peripheral blood for collection and subsequent autologous transplantation in patients with multiple myeloma. 21. Viapaz. Active ingredient, pozelimab BBFG. Indication, to treat patients 1 year old and older with CD55 deficient protein-losing enteropathy, PLE, also known as Chapel disease. 22. Sohanos. Active ingredient, palovarotene. Indication, to reduce the volume of new heterotopic ossification in adults and pediatric patients, aged 8 years and older for females and 10 years and older for males, with fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva. 23. Elrexfio. Active ingredient, elranatamab BCMM. Indication, to treat adults with relapsed or refractory multiple myeloma who have received at least 4 prior lines of therapy. 24. Talvi. Active ingredient, talquetamab TGVS. Indication, to treat adults with relapsed or refractory multiple myeloma who have received at least 4 prior therapies. 25. Izervay. Active ingredient, avacincaptad pegol. Indication, to treat geographic atrophy secondary to age-related macular degeneration. 26. Zurzuvae. Active ingredient, zuranolone. Indication, to treat postpartum depression. 27. Zdemvi. Active ingredient, lotilaner. Indication, to treat Demodex blepharitis. 28. Vanflyta. Active ingredient, quizartinib. Indication, to use as part of a treatment regimen for newly diagnosed acute myeloid leukemia that meets certain criteria. 29. Beyfortus. Active ingredient, nirsevimab. Indication, to prevent respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, lower respiratory tract disease. 30. Ngenla. Active ingredient, somatrogon. Indication, to treat growth failure due to inadequate secretion of endogenous growth hormone. 31. Ristigo. Active ingredient, rosanolixizumab. Indication, to treat generalized myasthenia gravis in adults who are anti-acetylcholine receptor or anti-muscle-specific tyrosine kinase antibody positive. 32. Litfulo. Active ingredient, ritlecitinib. Indication, to treat severely patchy hair loss. 33. Columvi. Active ingredient, glofitamab GXBM. Indication, to treat diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, not otherwise specified, or large B-cell lymphoma arising from follicular lymphoma after 2 or more lines of systemic therapy. 34. Inpefa. Active ingredient, sotagliflozin. Indication, to treat heart failure. 35. Posluma. Active ingredient, flotofilastat F18. Indication, to use with positron emission tomography imaging in certain patients with prostate cancer. 36. Paxlovid. Active ingredients, nirmatrelvir, ritonavir. Indication, to treat mild to moderate COVID-19 in adults at high risk for progression to severe COVID-19. 37. Xacduro. Active ingredients, sulbactam, durlobactam. Indication, to treat hospital-acquired bacterial pneumonia and ventilator-associated bacterial pneumonia caused by susceptible isolates of Acinetobacter baumannii calcoaceticus complex. 38. Epkinly. Active ingredient, epcoritamab BYSB. Indication, to treat relapsed or refractory diffuse large B-cell lymphoma not otherwise specified, and high-grade B-cell lymphoma after 2 or more lines of systemic therapy. 39. Mebo. Active ingredient, perfluorhexyloctane. Indication, to treat signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 40. Veoza. Active ingredient, fezolinetant. Indication, to treat moderate to severe hot flashes caused by menopause. 41. Elfabrio. Active ingredient, pegunigalsidase alpha-IXG. Indication, to treat confirmed Fabry disease. 42. Calcity. Active ingredient, tofersen. Indication, to treat amyotrophic lateral sclerosis in adults who have a SOD1 gene mutation. 43. Joenja. Active ingredient, leniolisib. Indication, to treat activated phosphoinositide 3 kinase delta syndrome. 44. Rezao. Active ingredient, rezafungin. Indication, to treat candidemia and invasive candidiasis. 45. ZYNYZ. Active ingredient, retifanlimab DLWR. Indication, to treat metastatic or recurrent locally advanced Merkel cell carcinoma. 46. Dabi. Active ingredient, trofinetide. Indication, to treat Rett syndrome. 47. Zavspret. Active ingredient, zagepant. Indication, to treat migraine. 48. Skyclaris. Active ingredient, omaveloxolone. Indication, to treat Friedreich's ataxia. 49. Filspari. Active ingredient, sparsentan. Indication, to reduce proteinuria in adults with primary immunoglobulin A nephropathy at risk of rapid disease progression. 50. Lamzede. Active ingredient, velmanase alpha-TYCV. Indication, to treat non-central nervous system manifestations of alpha-mannosidosis. 51. Gestivroc. Active ingredient, daprodustat. Indication, to treat anemia caused by chronic kidney disease for adults on dialysis for at least 4 months. 52. Orserdu. Active ingredient, elacestrant. Indication, to treat estrogen receptor-positive, human epidermal growth factor receptor 2 negative, ESR1 mutated, advanced or metastatic breast cancer with disease progression following at least one line of endocrine therapy. 53. Jaypirca. Active ingredient, pirtobrutinib. Indication, to treat relapsed or refractory mantle cell lymphoma in adults who have had at least 2 lines of systemic therapy, including a BTK inhibitor. 54. Brenzavi. Active ingredient, bexigliflozin. Indication, to improve glycemic control in adults with type 2 diabetes. Mellitus as an adjunct to diet and exercise. 55. Leqembi. Active ingredient, lecanemabirm. Indication, to treat Alzheimer's disease. Well, that's a wrap for today's video on the 55 FDA Medicine Approvals of 2023. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates on the latest in healthcare. As always, thank you for joining us here at MJ Pharma. Until next time, stay healthy and stay informed.